So this is the part I don't get. I mean, this part is so bizarre to me. Like, what was he doing here?
He just
This throws me
runs
for
up
a
on
loop.
him.
Have you
I
never
know.
yearned for black cock? I mean, come on. You just look
And
in this series of pictures. If you said this man died for black cock, I'd be like, well, the pictures are telling me what's true. So I mean, it's hard to say what pictures tell you because every picture tells you whatever story you want to hear. And this
but
one
like,
tells
why would
me,
he
give me
just
that
come
cock.
up? He would just come up and grab their tubes, and
Heyo.
I mean, basically, that is grabbing right in between that guy's legs.
What's in between them?
Yeah, and that's
They're tubes. Heyo.
It's just such a weird move to do.
that it. And he just grabbed the tube. He doesn't actually make contact with them, right? Is that correct?
Well, I think he probably brushed his leg when he did it, but yeah, he grabs the tube.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, this lawyer. If he right there on that far right picture just pulled out the cock and just started blop, 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 is that an attack? Or is that
Yes, that's a sexual attack.
It is considered an attack, but he would have, the person in the tube would have the right to file or not file a complaint.
Let me ask you this. If the man in the tube came, does he have a case still or no? We're hitting the hard topics tonight on legal talk here at Hackride Studios. If your rapist makes you come, is he still a rapist? Go.
Yes. The questions that we're too afraid to ask, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is the sentence less because of the enjoyment that became from it?
No.
No.
So even if there's a picture of you smiling afterwards, you're getting the same sentence as a guy that just dragged a lady and then made her like cry the whole time. You're getting the same sentence.
Yes.
Yeah. I've heard some pretty crazy prison stories that kind of fall into this.
Please tell us
They
one.
kind of fall into, oddly enough, it's not anything I know about, like from a client or anything. It was a story that Flavor Flav told at one time in an interview, in which he was in prison with a guy that would like beat the shit out of someone and then demand that they fuck him in the ass.
Oh.
As one does. Go on.
Like the total opposite scenario. And yeah, he said these guys were walking around ashamed and feeling like rape victims, even though it was the complete opposite scenario. And yeah, they had every right as victims to file charges against him.
Yeah, they just changed the name of that law. They call that the No Diddy law now. That's called the that's called the
No Diddy.
No Diddy law. Yes, No Diddy law. Yes. Hold on. Rimshot coming. Thank you.
Oh God.
You can press play anytime.
Didn't expect the conversation to go this direction.
I know, right? You never know where it's going to go over here. Come on.
Well, hey. I'm looking at that billable hour rate, and I'm seeing the zeros across the board, and I'm asking you things I've wanted to know for years.
His goggles in his mouth.
Jodie Foster, she deserved it, right? Because she broke the goddamn gaming machine, right? She might have been violated, but she did break the machine, right? So those cancel out. Please give us your opinion. Go.
You also have to think about all of the teachers, the female teachers that have to go to jail after having sex with the teenage boys.
Think about them. I got a wall full of pictures. It's called my jerk off teacher wall. I call it my "Where were you when I was in school" wall.
So you didn't get it with any of your teachers?
Oh, there was one from Harvard. She liked me, but she had very chapped lips, and that turned me off to her. So I sort of denied her come-ons.
Oh,
ladies,
deal
use
with
your
the chapped
chaps.
lips.
If you're trying to fuck your 14-year-old students, ladies, use the chapstick, please. I mean, we're not savages over here. We're just
And also, we don't condone that.
Yeah, we're just children. And we look at your chapped lips as some sort of witchcraft. We don't understand why you're melting into yourself like that. So you got to make yourself look more normal, is what I'm saying.
They're tubes with two hands.
If I knew her name, I would give you her name right now. My God, it was funny.
You'll hear in the video, the boys are yelling, "Whoa, whoa."
She came into class and she goes, "I'm from Harvard." And me and my buddy looked at each other at like 14 years old and we're like, "Oh, we're going to discover what trolling is. We didn't even know what it was, but we're like, oh, we have been challenged. We must troll this lady into early retirement. And yes, she didn't last a year.
Oh.
Not a year.
And
What's
you're
this guy
proud of
doing,
that?
weirdo?
One of the most proud things I've ever done.
Oh my gosh.
You can see their reactions
Did I mention her lips were chapped? Thank you.
in the video. That's Alex Bang on the left. Nikolai drops his goggles and snorkel.
My penis is just developing. I don't want it all scarred up from some Harvard bitch's chapped lips.
Water?
Please.
Okay.
He then starts reaching in the water where they fall into the water. He starts walking around their tubes. They're yelling at him, get away from us, walk away. They're also chirping at him. You'll hear Jawan saying, he's a pedophile. Nikolai says something back, you can't hear it in the video. He's standing, now Nick, this is facing downriver. So the direction they're tubing, that's that bridge going over the river in the background.
It's starting to look a little like Negan to me from Walking Dead. And if with that context, they all got off lucky.
Boys are yelling, get away. That's Isaac in the middle photo with the white hat, purple trunks.
R.I.P. Isaac.
That's Isaac again on the left photo, standing with his hands up, fingers splayed. You can see a gold bracelet on his left wrist. You'll see that again later in the video. At this point in the video, you hear the boys start to cheer. And that's because you'll hear from them that the Carlsons, some adults, were coming over to help. Those two people you see walking over are Madison and Dante. Madison's later punched, Dante's later stabbed. There's Isaac's bracelet. As Madison is walking over, she's yelling.
Can I say something real quick here?
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe that what he's aiming for, what the prosecutor is aiming for, is trying to say that as of right now, no crimes have been committed. His approach to the tube and grabbing it weirded them out, and he's really just trying to explain why they did what they did in calling the other people over.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong, but I don't think he's even implying right now that anything has been done wrong.
No, he doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, maybe he's drunk. Maybe he did it unintentionally. I really don't know why, but I really kind of thought that he was going to kind of lean into, hey, he scared them and they reacted this way, but he's not doing that. So that's a little odd to me. Just want to throw that out there, keep that in consideration.
That's a good comment. Thank you.
Go, go, go. Nikolai says, you'll hear it in the video, they took my snorkel. Madison's pointing and yelling for him to go. You can see in that pocket on his shorts, metallic clip. His pocket knife.
Did he just say that he accused them of taking the phone?
Snorkel. He couldn't find his snorkel. They took
So
his
when
snorkel.
Snorkel.
with his snorkel, he put in his mouth when he went up and grabbed their tubes, and then it fell out of his mouth and went down underneath. And then apparently he accused them of stealing his snorkel when he dropped it himself. Like, that makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
That's-
the look on his face on the far right picture now tells me a totally different story than the one I've been promoting this whole time.
Yeah, look at his
I
face.
think he's drunk.
He looks excited.
Yeah.
His wife
That's
testified
a man
that
on substance right now.
his wife testified that he's had 2 beers all day.
And maybe like 5 Klonopin.
Madison's pointing and yelling at him.
There will
I don't know if he has a talk screen done.
There will be a
They
talk
did
screen.
take him to the hospital.
100%
They said
there'll
he
be a
had
talk
bruises on his back and on his nothing on his face, just on his back from where he fell on the rocks.
The report was 6 letters. It just said dad bod. It didn't make sense to the
Nikolai
He's got the perfect dad bod, is what I was saying.
turns his back to her, looks back at the group of boys in the right photo. She directs him back away from the boys, back to her. We hear from her that's why she went over there in the first place, was to try to get him away from the boys.
So she does touch him
She
first.
keeps telling him to go.
She tries to push him a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not that is not
aggressive.
Yeah, that is not touching.
Yeah.
That's not a touching. That's de-escalation touching. Cops and lawyers all approve of that.
He starts smiling. He waves upstream towards his group. More women from the Carlson group come over. That's Riley in the middle, in that middle photo. She ends up getting stabbed. Right photo, you can see
Dad bod.
Nikolai puts his hand on that knife in his pocket again. He's smiling.
That's the look on his face that scares
The
me.
boys are laughing. They're drunk 17-year-old boys.
Right there, though. Right there.
Yeah, it looks like he thinks. It looks like he feels like he's in on a joke and he's playing along, and then it suddenly turns into a little more of a desperate situation.
But
like he's like ha 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 ha.
But you just heard the prosecutor, right? He's like, he goes, "Oh, these drunk 17-year-old boys." So basically, like, people totally incapable to handle alcohol and handle situations when they are drunk that normal people can handle. What the prosecutor just admits in open court that these kids have absolutely no way they're able to handle the responsibility. That way, if you just follow that chain of events, the man who is dealing with these kids does not have responsibility either because they are so out of control. It's not like he's dealing with someone that he can reason with. These are unreasonable bad actors.
He could have walked away so many times.
But at the same time, they aren't the ones he attacked first. That's the issue, is that the taunting in itself, there's still no crime having been committed.
Right. It's only he hasn't been attacked yet either physically. If he's about to be attacked physically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so here's something I didn't think about that I don't expect the prosecutor to touch on is there liability for inciting other people to threaten this guy by calling him a child molester? Is there? I think it's a stretch, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that some lawyer won't try to pin some sort of hat on it by saying that they're somehow responsible for getting other people to intervene when they started saying that he's a child molester or whatever.
And that my argument has been this particular group of people, this age of people, do not take certain things that are now said online about others. Like, we all have YouTube shows. We understand we are just called murderers and child molesters and rapists every day. Well, at least the demon is. Like, every day it shows up in his inbox. Every fucking day. So it's like nothing. It means nothing to him. But this guy doesn't know that.
Yeah.
This guy is surrounded by a group of people that are telling him he's the worst thing that could. He is being, in his mind, falsely accused of something, attacking a child. So they're going to kill him in this river because he's being falsely accused of this attack. You have to put yourself directly into his mind what they're saying. They're saying, "Oh, you were taking pictures of little girls. Oh, we're going to push you in the water. Now we're going to..." He is thinking...
So wait, instead of walking away, then he punches a woman? That's his plan of action?
I think we need to look at... That's coming up. That's coming up.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. Let's watch that. Let's watch that. Let's watch.
That's where this is going to hinge on.
Yeah.
It is. It is the hinge moment.
He's smiling. Then you'll see his hands start moving. You can't quite see what they're doing. You can see they come together.
That's a nothing. He could be adjusting his cock right there. That's nothing.
You can see behind him, there's nothing but clear and empty water.
Oh, so run away, run away.
As Madison and Riley, two women, are talking to him, telling him to leave, he takes out his knife.
Oh, I didn't know this part.
Yeah, this is not looking good.
Smirking.
Still smirking.
Looking straight at the women.
He pulled it out before he was attacked.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You'll not
I
see
did not know
Nikolai
that.
raise his knife